So welcome to everybody who's just joined us. I see a group of people have just come online now. I'd like to start today's class by introducing you to our theory tutor for this class. So what we have, particularly for theory, because there are aspects of it as we go through the semester that become more and more difficult. We have somebody who is a senior student who is now doing a PGCE, and he has done the degree in music already, but he's also very good at theory. And he's assisted me in the past with helping students who need assistance outside of class. So for example, if there's something that you don't understand in today's class, or if there's something that you don't understand in the worksheets, then our tutor is the person who will assist you. And he usually organizes a weekly kind of outside of class tutorial in which you would be able to meet with him in a group, or probably in a group at first. And I think last year he also set up a WhatsApp group to assist people. So his name is Mbukiseni, and Mbukiseni, if you can just introduce yourself now by unmuting yourself and saying hello, then people can see what you look like.
Thank you very much, Dr. Petka, for inviting me to be able to meet everybody. I was hoping that we were actually going to have a live kind of a situation, but unfortunately, because of the situation, we were unable to. So I'd like to greet you all students. My name is Mbukiseni Mkize. I will be your tutor for this semester. So we're going to be communicating more on WhatsApp to be able to understand which days are we going to be using as our timetables. And we are more than welcome to use our mother tongue when we are running to these sessions. So that the aim is for everyone to be comfortable enough to communicate in the better way so that everyone can pass the module.
Thank you, Mbukiseni. In fact, one of the important things about our tutor system is that it allows for bilingual learning. And so those of you who have not perhaps understood everything that I've done in English will then have an opportunity to work out what the Zulu equivalent is for yourselves with Mbukiseni. Also important, I'm going to add him to our WhatsApp group so that he can see what we are doing from week to week, and he'll be able to see the videos that I'm putting up and all of those kind of things, so that if you have questions about specific things that we have done, then you are welcome to ask him. The other important thing, as I said last week, is we learn by asking questions. And we also learn, and you'll find this very strange actually, but we learn by making mistakes. So when we make mistakes, we tend to learn more than if we keep on getting something right. So there's no harm in making mistakes. And in fact, the more that you make the mistakes and try something, the more likely it is that you will get better at it. It's the same with mathematics, it's the same with the language, same with all sorts of things. So don't be shy to make a mistake. And particularly, we will be trying as your lecturer and tutor to assist you with a type of correction that does not make you feel little or belittled. Okay, it's not our intention to make you feel small. It is our intention to help you grow. So that is the way that we approach working with you as students. And as I said to you last week, I am also a lifelong learner, so I am learning at the same time, and you, in a sense, are like a teacher to me as well. So thank you, Mbukiseni, for joining us today. He's not going to stay for the whole lecture because we were going to be live, and then I was going to get him to participate with you. But since we are not live, he's just joining so that you can see what he looked like. So thank you very much. And we will see you maybe next week when, if we are meeting live, then you are welcome to join us again so that students can see you. Thanks, Mbukiseni.
Thanks a lot, Doc. This is a very exciting module, guys. So I'm hoping we are all excited to begin. So I'm excited to meet you all. Thank you very much.
I also just want to point out that Mbukiseni has been very much involved, along with one of our other students, in helping to put together the Zulu textbook that is going to be able to that you'll be able to use a little bit later in this semester. So he was one of the people who read through everything to make sure that it worked. And he is also, as you will have seen from some of the videos, I think today's video, he was on today's video too. So you will recognize him from the work that he has done in this module already. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Good job.
Thank you. All right, so a warm welcome to everybody. We're happy that you've joined online. I see that there's a message. Okay, thank you, Linda. Thanks for your message to Mbukiseni. All right, now, today we have two things that we are going to focus on. We're going to do some revision from last week. And then once we have revised some of the rhythms from last week, we're going to look at some of the stuff that you learned from the videos this week. Just a reminder to all of you that it is expected that you will always have watched the videos before you come to the class. Okay, so if you have questions about the videos, for example, that you want to ask in this class, you're most welcome to do so. We're going to start with what is probably going to be, or this section is going to be the most difficult part of this online class, because usually in a live situation, we would have been able to do this together by clapping together. But as I demonstrated to you last week, it doesn't work so effectively online. I'm going to share my screen with you now, and then I'm going to demonstrate how we are going to do this. You're going to need your cell phones. If you aren't watching on your cell phone now, then just go and fetch your cell phone. You'll need it. And you'll need to be able to attach things to WhatsApp in a few minutes. All right, let me just find the things that I want to share with you now. Okay, let's share these things. Okay, can you tell me when you can see the screen that I've just shared?
Yes, we can see, sir.
Good. All right. I'm going to step back from the screen now, just to remind you about some of the clapping techniques that we worked on last week. But just as a reminder, let's see how much you remember from last week. Who can remember what the name of this kind of note is that I'm circling now?
It's a crochet.
Yes. Good. And how much is it worth?
1 bead.
1. Yes, good. This one here. What
The
is
minimum.
yes, the minimum. How much is it?
2 beads.
This one here?
A semi bead.
Yes, good. How much is it worth?
4 counts.
Correct. What is this thing here?
The rest.
Yes. How long is this rest here?
1 count.
1.
Yes.
And this one here?
3 counts.
3
It's
counts.
a minute dotted rest.
A
Yes.
dotted minimum rest. Correct. Okay. Remember that the dotted part comes first, then the name of the note. Dotted minimum. Even though you see the dot second, we put the word dot first. All right. Now, I'm going to demonstrate for you the different clapping techniques that we're going to use. I'm just going to stand a little bit from the camera so that you can see. All right. Here my hands. For one beat, for a crotchet, you just clap like that. Okay. For a minute. One, 2. Almost like you swimming. For a 3 count note, for a dotted minute, 1, 2, 3. And for a semi, 1, 2, 3, 4. For a I'm going to mute you all because you can hear somebody classmate or something next to them. Okay. For a rest, if there's a 1 count rest, you just go like this. Let's say you've got 3 quavers, 3 crotchets and a rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. Okay. And if you've got a 2 count rest, 1, 2, 3, rest, rest. So you just do that for as many as you've got rest. So for example, the rest that I'm circling now, that's 3. It would be 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, here's the challenge for you. We're going to try now and use your voice note thing on your cell phone, on WhatsApp, to try and record the rhythm that is up on the screen at the moment. Okay. It's going to require probably, and I'm not sure if this is possible now, you might be able to put Zoom into the background and then record it and send it to me without leaving Zoom, but you might have to leave Zoom, do it, and then send it to me and then rejoin the meeting. I'm not going to close the meeting, so I'll still be here. If you go out of the meeting and come back in, it'll be fine. Okay, so now I want you to try and clap that rhythm for me using those techniques that I showed you. And you're going to count it like this. For example, I'm going to do the first 3 notes for you. 1, 1, 2, 1. You'll count the value of each note out loud while you are clapping. Okay, and if there's a rest, you'll go 1, like that. No clap, just the like that. So I'm giving you now 3 minutes to record this rhythm on a voice note and then send it to me. If you are not with somebody and you have to hold down, I know on WhatsApp you have to hold down the little button. If you have to do that, you can tap the rhythm on the table next to you or on something hard next to you or on your leg. You can clap on your leg next to you so that you can still be holding the voice note thing with the one hand and clapping with the other. Okay, let's give it a try and see if it works. I'm going to let you do that for the next 3 minutes and then we'll carry on. Okay, let's give it a try. Send it to me as soon as you've recorded. Oh, you might want to practice it once before you record it. Okay, just to make sure that you've got it right. If you've just joined us, we're working on this rhythm. Everybody's just clapping it and then sending it to me as a voice note. I'm going to start the class in a few minutes once people start sending the voice notes through to me on WhatsApp.
I'm struggling here. I'm trying to record, but giving me problems.
Okay, did you manage to go out of the meeting and then to clap it?
So I must leave the meeting and then clap it.
Yes, and then you can come back again. I won't meeting, don't worry.
Okay.
Give it a try then and see if it works. I'll demonstrate how I'm going to do it. Here I've got WhatsApp open. And you can't see it. There you go. I'm going to hold down on the thing here. And then I'm going to clap it for you and put it on the group. So here it comes. Actually, let me start that again and count. Here we go. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, rest. 1, 1, rest. 1, rest, rest, rest. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should sound like that. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, rest. 1, 1, rest. 1, rest, rest, rest. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Give it a try and send it to me as a voice note. The important thing here is to count out loud while you are clapping it so that we can hear that you understand all of those things, okay? Sibuyile has sent one to me. Thank you. Totela has tried. Kyle, rather don't do it on the group. Do it to me individually. Zibuyile, did you have to go out of the meeting to do it, or could you do it at the same time as while you were keeping the meeting open?
I actually had to go outside.
Okay. Thank you for letting us know. That helps. Okay, Totela has sent me one. You could also, if you like, if you've got a recording app on your cell phone, you could use that if you prefer rather than WhatsApp. Then you wouldn't need to hold the thing down, if that makes it easier. Thank you, Kanyisani. I've received it. Carl, I've received it. Thank you. Sinatemba, I've received. Thank you. I'm going to wait for a couple more to come through and then we can continue. Kelele, thank you. All right. Now we're going to do that same thing with a different rhythm. I'm putting up a new rhythm over here. This time I want you to do exactly the same thing, but with this rhythm, okay? If you need to go out of the meeting and come back in, that's fine. Then record it for me and send it back to me. If you prefer to use a recording app, that's fine. You can do it. Then you'll be able to clap. That's fine. Or if you can use WhatsApp, that's also fine. Okay, so give it a try now. This is the second one. This is a different one. Give it a try, record it, and then send it to me. Practice it first and then send it to me. I'll give you another 3 minutes. Okay, I'm beginning to get some of those through, and it seems like many of you are beginning to get the idea. It takes a bit of practice, so don't worry if you don't make it all right. The point is to start getting the feel for it, okay? I'm going to clap now, the one that's up on the screen, all right? And if you want, you can clap with me while you're doing this. Just make sure that your mic is on mute. Otherwise, it's going to make a very strange sound altogether. All right. So here is how it should sound. Okay. This is the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Rest. 1. Rest. 1, 2, 3. 1. Rest. 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 1. 1, 2. Rest. Rest. 1, 2. How many of you think that you got that basically right? Just put a thumbs up if you think you got it right. I'll check just now when I listen to them after this class. Good.
I've just logged in. Can you please do it again, sir?
Yes. Okay. So here it is. I'm going to clap for you again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Rest. 1. Rest. 1, 2, 3. 1. Rest. 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 1. 1, 2. Rest. Rest. 1, 2. Okay. Now, let's go down. I just want to share the next thing with you. You can tell me what these notes here that I'm circling are called over here. That are
Quavers.
Quavers, good. How much is one quaver worth?
Half a beat.
Half, correct. If you look down here where I'm circling now, we've already said that that note is a crotchet, and a crotchet is worth 1. So now you can see that for one crotchet at the same time, there are 2 quavers. When lines of music are written on top of each other like this, it means that you have to perform them at exactly the same time. Okay, so this line is going to be played at the same time as this line, as the same time as this line. Okay, so here's an important principle. When lines of music are written on top of each other, it means that they need to be performed at exactly the same time. So if we were clapping this bottom one here, it would be very simple because they are just crotchets like this. 1, 2, just like this. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, that would be a very simple thing to clap. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do at home, we're going to do some clapping and rhythms with our bodies to try and do 2 things at the same time. It's not too difficult, so don't worry. With your feet, or with one of your feet, I want you to tap the crotchets. So I don't know if you can hear my foot. 1, 1, 1, 1. Just get your foot tapping like that. Okay. Keep your foot tapping. And then above that, for every 1 tap with your foot, we're going to do 2 claps with our hands. Okay, so here's the 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay.
The audio is off.
My audio is off.
Now it's back.
Yes, sir. Your audio is off.
You can't hear me.
Yes, sir.
Does that mean yes, you can't hear me?
I think you were
We
far
don't
from
hear
your mic.
you.
When you clapping, your audio was off.
Oh, okay. I'll try again. All right, here we go. I'll clap a bit softer. Maybe it's the mic just going into overdrive. All right, so here's the tapping. 1, 2. I'm just keeping the 1, 1, 1, 1.
We still don't hear you.
I'm not saying anything, I'm just clapping. Can you hear this? Can you hear that?
From a distance, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we do. We are both here.
Okay. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to record it on my cell phone just in case and send it through to you on the group so that you can hear what I'm talking about. Okay. Just give me a second. If you can hear it, that's fine. If you can't, then I'm going to send this video, this little sound recording through to you in a minute. Okay. Important thing here is that with your foot, you're keeping the crotchets going. And with the clapping, you're going to do the quavers, all right? So this is your foot tapping. And this is the clapping. I'll send this through to you now. All right, it should be coming through to you. And then once you've heard it, I want you to give it a try. All right, the important thing is with your foot, you've got crotchets, da, 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 da. With your clapping, da, da, dee, da, dee, da, 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 da. Okay, so let's give that a try. See if it should have come through. Did it come through on the group for you yet?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So listen to it quickly. Then we're going to try together, okay? Don't open your microphone. Clapping the quavers, tapping with your foot the crotchets. Okay, let's give it a try. Here's the tapping, pa, pa, with your foot. 1, 1, 1, 1. Now get ready with your hands. 1, 1, 1, 1. Deep da, 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 deep da. If you're managing to get it all right, just give me a thumbs up so that I can see. And this is, okay, just, let's see, I'm not seeing your hands. How many of you have tried it? Put up your hand. Only 3 people. Okay, what's happened to the rest of you? We've got about 5 or 6 people who have tried it, but there are 17 of you here. Okay. All right, you can take your hands down. All right, now we're going to try something related to this. If you look at the middle line now, we've done the bottom line with our feet. We've done the top line with our clapping. You can tell me what this note is that I'm circling now.
Dotted crochet.
A dotted crochet. And what is that worth?
1.5.
1.5. Correct. Now, let's think about 1.5 carefully. 1.5 is 1 plus a half. But 1 is equal to a half plus a half, right? So 1.5 can be a half plus a half plus a half. 3 halves. You with me? Remember 1.5. If we put a half plus a half plus a half together, we get 1.5. Okay. So if we look at this picture here, this one is worth 1.5. And for 1.5 notes, we get 3 quavers. And then there's 1 quaver on its own there, which is equal to another half. This is a half plus a half plus a half, and then a half on its own. I'm going to demonstrate what I mean like this. If we're clapping, if we're tapping our feet, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then we're clapping that quavers like that. And then we count the quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we think that the first 3 of those quavers is worth 1.5, like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then if we imagine those being clapped out loud, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Those 3 that we are counting out there are equal to one of these notes. 3 quavers is equal to 1 dotted crotchet. So if we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then if we don't clap those quavers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's what this rhythm is. It's the dotted crotchet plus a quaver. Dotted crotchet plus a quaver. I'm going to try and demonstrate this to you another way. I'm going to tap with my foot the bottom line. Da, 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 da. Those are the crotchets. Okay. Now I'm doing the quavers. Da, da, dee, da, dee, da, dee, da. For every crotchet, there are 2 quavers. Now I'm going to count the quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm only going to count the first 3 quavers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to clap the middle line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you should be able to now, if you can, try the same thing, doing the same things. First, tapping your foot just with the crotchets, then quavers. Then count the quavers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then count 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then just do this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Give that a try to see if you can get this rhythm. because that is the rhythm that is written over here in the middle line. Okay, so give that a try now on your phone and see if you can try and record it for me. Samkele Siwe, I see your message. Galaxy, I don't know who Galaxy A02 is. You say you can't hear because your phone is in silent. I'm not sure how to take your phone out of silent. You'd have to ask somebody who is a Galaxy A2. Obile, are you still not hearing me?
I can hear you, sir. So right now.
Okay. Samke, tell me where you're really lost. Where do I need to go back to? Samke? The middle line. Okay. So you understand the bottom line and the top line. Is everybody okay with the bottom line and the top line? If you're okay with that, just give me a thumbs up so that I can see. Okay. Yeah, I'm not asking about the middle line yet. I'm just asking if you understand the bottom line and the top line so far. Is everybody okay on the bottom line and the top line?
No, sir. Can you repeat the first line for me?
The top line?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. In the bottom line, we've got crotchets. Crotchets are worth 1. Okay. The top line, we have groups of quavers, and each quaver is equal to a half, right? So how many halves are there in 1? How many halves do I need to put together to get 1?
2.
Correct.
2, sir.
Yes, okay. So do you see on the top line that for every one of these over here, there are 2 of those? You with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So when I'm clapping crotchets in the bottom line, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Those are worth 1 each. You with me? The quavers, we've got to get 2 in the space of 1. Okay, so for each one of these, we have to clap 2 of those. With me? So if I'm tapping with my foot, the crotchets, 1, 1, 1, 1, I've got to get, for every one of those, I've got to clap 2 quavers. Okay, when I've got 1 in my foot, I've got to clap 2 at the same time with my hands, like this. Here's the crotchets in my foot. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Sanele?
Yes, it makes sense.
Okay, so now we've got the top and the bottom line. We're okay with the top and the bottom line. All right. Now, look at the middle line. Look at this note over here. What is this note that I'm circling here?
It's a quaver.
A quaver. And how much is it? This one over here in the middle line that I'm circling now.
It's half.
It's a half. Okay. Do you see that it lines up with this half over here? These 2 halves would happen at the same time. Yeah. That's a half. This is a half. Okay. Right.
Yes.
We've got 4 halves here. Half, 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 half. For each of those halves, when we've got 2 of those halves, there is 1 crotchet. So if I'm clapping the crotchets, let's say those are the crotchets, da, 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 da. Then at the same time, yap, ba, ba, yap, ba, yap, ba, yap, ba, yap, yap, ba, yap, ba. Okay. So while I'm clapping with, or when I'm tapping with my foot, I'm saying with my mouth, da, da, dee, 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 da. Half, 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 half. Okay. Now, if I put a number next to each of these halves, like this, 1, 2, 3, start it again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I could clap like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. While my foot is tapping the crotchets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then if we look at this bottom line here, this note is worth 1.5. We've already discussed that it's worth 1.5. So write out for you here that you can see what I'm talking about. How does a dotted note work? What does the dot mean? You can tell me what the dot means. You did it in your worksheets.
So can you repeat the question?
What does the dot mean?
Dot. Yeah, it means half of the note value that's next to it.
Yes, correct. Okay. So if you have a look over here, the dotted crotchet is worth the crotchet plus a half. So 1 plus a half. All right. But the crotchet itself can divide into 2 quavers because they are worth a half each, and a half plus a half is equal to 1. Just have a look over here. Let me stop sharing this so you can see it bigger. Just get this in front of the camera. All right. Can you see that a dotted crotchet is worth 1.5? Okay, it's worth the crotchet plus a quaver. But if we think of the crotchet as 2 quavers, like it is underneath there, okay, a half plus a half is also equal to 1. Can you see that a dotted crotchet over here is also equal to a quaver plus a quaver plus a quaver? How many quavers altogether there?
3 quavers, sir.
3 quavers.
3.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go back to this picture. So over here, a dotted quaver is worth 3. A dotted crotchet is worth 3 quavers. Do you see that 1, 2, 3 happen at the same time as one of those? Okay. And then you get 1 on its own. So I count 1, 2, 3. We know that that's how long that one must be. Okay. So if I'm counting those quavers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm clapping the top line now. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. The first 3, if I listen to how long, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first 3, if we added them all together, we would get a dotted crotchet. Okay. So if I just add them all together like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and clap just once for all of these 3. Listen here, clapping all 4 of them separately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I add the first 3 quavers together, to get the dotted crotchet, and I just count them out, but I don't clap them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I get that rhythm that's in the middle line. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. We know what a dotted crotchet and a quaver will sound like, because we know that a dotted crotchet is also worth 3 quavers. Is that making better sense? I can hear somebody there clapping it in the background, and you've got the right idea. Okay, is that better sense to you now? Some of you who were asking before. Please just tell me if you are, if you need me to go over it again.
Yes, sir.
Sanela, you okay?
Go back again, sir.
Say again, please.
Yes, on the middle one. On the middle one is too hard.
The middle one is too hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to leave it there. You'll have to speak to the, you're going to have to speak to the tutor about that, because if I carry on with that now, we will have spent an hour just learning this first thing. Okay, so you'll please make a note to speak to the tutor about that. I want to go on to another thing. I'm going to share another screen with you. Can you see the screen now? That has 4 crotchets in a row, and then groups of quavers over here. Then crotchet, quavers, crotchet, crotchet, minim, and semi-brief. Okay. We're going to try and clap something like this now so that I can demonstrate how this. Okay. So just close your mic so that I can show you how this works. All right, so the first thing is when you count out I'm going to count out the values so that you can hear how they go. Okay, so here's from the beginning. 1, 1, 1, 1, half, 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 1, half, half, 1, half, half, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the important thing is here, like we learned before, when you are dealing with half notes or quavers, then we have to get 2 of them in for every 1 crotchet. So if these are the crotchets, 1, 1, 1, 1, we have to get 2 quavers in to the space of 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, half, 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 1, half, half, 1, half, half, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's how that first one works. Now I'm going to put another one up here so that I can show to you how semiquavers work. When we are dealing with semiquavers, we have a slightly different situation. For every crotchet, we have 2 quavers. And for every 2 quavers, we have 2 semiquavers. Remember, they all split into 2. I'll draw a little picture for you so that you can see. A quaver is equal to, sorry, a crotchet is equal to 2 quavers, and a quaver is equal to 2 semiquavers. Just going to show you this picture quickly. Just put it up here. Okay. So now we have a crotchet at the top of that picture. For every crotchet, there are 2 quavers. For every quaver, there are 2 semiquavers. So if we've got the crotchet going like this, pa, 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 then the quavers are pa, 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 and the semiquavers. For every crotchet, there are 2 quavers. For every crotchet, there are 4 semiquavers. Okay, so here's the crotchet, ba, 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 ba. Here are the quavers. 2 for every 1. Here are the semiquavers. 4 for every 1. Okay, so let's try that again, just to remind you. 1 crotchet is equal to 2 quavers. 1 crotchet is equal to 4 semiquavers. Here's the crotchet, 1, 1, 1, 1. Quavers, ba, ba, bi, ba, bi, ba, bi. Semiquavers. Dita, 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 dita. Okay. Now, when we look at the screen, you'll see that there are combinations here of crotchets, quavers, and semiquavers. They are the crotchets, quavers, semiquavers. Okay, I'm going to clap this exercise for you so that you can hear how it goes. 1, 1, half, 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 half. Half, 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 1, 1, half, half, semiquavers, half, half, 1, 2. If you keep tapping the crotchet beat with your foot, you'll find that it's much easier to do this, okay? If you listen to this tapping that I'm doing underneath, that is always equal to 1, okay? Then I know if I'm clapping halves, that I've got to get 2 for every 1. And if I'm clapping quarters, I've got to get 4 for every 1, like this. 1, 1. Quarter, 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 half, 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 half. 1, 1. Half, 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 half. Quarter, quarter, half, half. 1, 2. Now, this always requires quite a lot of practice. And the difficulty is that because you are not with me live, I can't practice it with you to make sure that we've got it right. So I'm relying on you now to give it a try. And we're going to try it like this. First, we're just going to get your foot tapping to the crotchets. Okay, that's the 1 count note. 1, 1, 1, 1. Then we're going to add the halves. Da, 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 da. Half, 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 half. Quarter, 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 quarter. Okay, let's give that a try again. Ah, good. I can see that you can understand it now. That's good. Okay, let's give it a try together. Here are the crotchets. 1, 1, 1. We're going to da, da, dee, da. Da, semiquavers. Oh, half, 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 half. 1, 1, 1, 1. Half, 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 half. Semiquavers, 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 semiquavers.
Okay.
Okay. That you're going to need to practice on your own so that you get a feel for how these things work, okay? Each of the crotchets can divide into half, and each of the semiquavers can also, each of the quavers can also divide into half. All right. Now, I want to move on to some of the work that we did in the videos this week and which you will be dealing with in your worksheet number 8. Just be sure that you did worksheet 1 and 2 for last week. This week, you are doing worksheet 8. Okay, it goes from 1 to worksheet 8. Now, based on what you have already learned, from the videos, who can tell me what this symbol is over here that I'm circling at the moment?
The treble clef.
Treble.
Clef.
Correct. Right. On your piece of paper now that you have, which I asked you to bring with you, and with your ruler, I want you to make a stave. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm using my ruler and I'm making those 5 lines. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished here so that I can ask you to do the same thing. So if you have a look at your screen now, you see I've ruled with the ruler. I've made those 5 lines, okay? Can you do that for me now? And now I want to show you about how to draw the treble clef. So I'm going to show first how it works. You need to find the second line from the bottom, okay? Second line from the bottom, and you draw a curl around like this. So you find the second line, you start on the second line and you curl backwards like a back to front C, okay? Then after curling backwards like the back to front C, you come up. It kind of curves up towards itself. Once you get to the top, you come back down like that. Now, I want you all to try and draw a treble clef for me and take a photograph of it with your cell phone. Sanele, I see yours, it's fine. Take a picture with your cell phone and send it to me on WhatsApp, please. All right, now I'm going to put the screen up again. And let's see who can tell me, based on what you've watched in the videos, which note is this that is being represented on the treble clef by the semibreve? Which note is being represented by the semibreve?
It's E, sir.
E. Yes, who said that? I can't see here. Was that Lutando? Who said that? Thank you. You got that right. Okay. Now somebody else who can tell me what this note is that you're seeing on the screen now.
D.
Are you sure? It's very close to D.
E.
E. Yes. Okay. It's also an E. All right. Who can tell me what this note is?
B.
B.
Yes. It's a B. Well done. What's this note over here?
G.
It's G.
Good. Who can tell me what is the rhyme for the lines of the treble clef? What is the rhyme for the lines of the treble clef?
Every good boy deserves food.
Correct. Yes. And what do the spaces in the treble clef spell?
Space.
Space.
Correct. Okay. Now let's have a look at the bass clef. What I would like you to do now is on your piece of paper, you draw a bass clef. I'm going to show you how to do that quickly. Easier than the treble clef. You start on the second line from the top Okay. And over like this. You curl up from the top there and around. And then it just comes down. Like that. And then you just add 2 dots next to it. Like that. So you can draw that for me now and then send it to me as a picture on WhatsApp. All right, and then based on that, give you a moment just to do that. We're going to identify some notes. Right, who can tell me what this note is that you're seeing on the screen now in the bass clef?
A.
A, yes, it's an A. Okay. What's this note over here?
F.
F, correct. This note?
C.
Yes. And this one?
A.
A.
And this one?
G.
G.
G. What is the rhyme for the lines on the bass clef?
Good boy deserves food.
What is it for always?
Correct. And what is the rhyme for the spaces?
All cars, it's rats.
Yes, good. Okay. Now we're going to try an exercise. Stop sharing the screen. Please make sure that you have now, I'm going to give you a minute just to rule out some more lines. And I'm going to demonstrate something for you in a minute because I want you all to try writing out some notes for me. Please just mute yourselves. So you're going to write out 5 lines with your ruler. And then I want you to draw a treble clef at the very beginning. And I'll show you what that should look like. Like this, okay? So you'll have the whole line free like that in the treble clef. Okay. Now I'm going to share a screen with you. And we're going to practice writing out some notes. Do you see it says treble clef? And there are 5 examples there. I'm going to write out the first one for you so that you can understand what I'm asking you to do. And I want you to write them using crotchets. Okay. So the first one, B, E, D, bed. Okay. And what I've done is I've written out those notes. I'll show you what it looks like. So stop sharing quickly. So there, the first note is a B, the second note is an E, and the third note is a D. Together those spell bed, okay? Now I want you to do the same thing now with all of those treble clef words that I've written out, okay? Bed, egg, deed, cafe, and feed. So I want you to write those 4 words out. We've done bed already. You don't need to redo that one. If you can do number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5, and write them each as crotchets, okay? And then take a photograph of that and send it to me. When you are finished writing that out, then I want you to draw another line, another set of 5 lines with a base clef in front of it. Okay, so do those 4 words, write them out for me as musical notes, and then send it to me. While you're doing that, I'm just going to see some of the work that you've sent me on WhatsApp. All right, and then when you are finished that, I want you to draw out another set of lines with a base clef in front of it, like that. And then write out all of those words that I've got there so that I can have a look. I'm going to show you what they should be. So I'm going to show the screen for you quickly. You see that here's the treble clef, B-E-D, ed. Then we've got egg, E-G-G, 2 notes that are exactly the same. Then B-E, sorry, B, D-E-E-D, deed. Then the last one, cafe, C-A-F-E, using all of the notes of the stave. See if you can spell them out like that. The same principle for the bass clef, which I'm sharing now. So just make sure that you send those to me. Now for this coming week for Monday, you have one worksheet for me. That worksheet is worksheet number 8. And I'm just going to go through it with you now to make sure that you are ready for it. So let me just get it together. It's quite a long worksheet, so it's going to take you a little while. Okay, I'm going to share it with you now. All right. So here's your worksheet for Monday. The first thing is to draw 5 examples of the treble clef and 5 examples of the bass clef. Now, some of you last week, when I asked for 5 examples of each of the notes, you do different kinds of notes. But what I'm really looking for is just that you repeat the same thing over and over again. It's just a matter of practicing, getting used to writing these things. So I want you to write 5 treble clefs and 5 bass clefs, 1 under here, 1 under here, 1 under here, just to get used to practicing writing. Okay. Which line of the stave is fixed by the treble clef and which note does it represent? Okay, you'll need to go and read your textbook and listen to the videos for that. Same true for this one here, which line. Okay. Then in this one here, you'll need to say which each of these notes is. Okay. Again, in the textbook and also on the videos, I describe how you can work out which each of the notes is. So you need to go and watch that, read the textbook, and then label. You just write, let's say this one is F. You just write an F over there in the note, okay, so that I can see. Then you're going to identify each of those notes. So you'll say this first one, for example, is a B. You just write B there, okay. This is an important little note here about which direction the note must go, or the stem must go when you are writing a note. Okay, so you need to read that carefully so that you answer these questions correctly. Always read the question very carefully. It says here, write the required notes as quavers. So you need to make sure that you are writing quavers, not crotchets or minims or something like that. Okay? And it also says here, remember that the note, if the note is above the middle line, the tail must go down. If the note is below the middle line, it must go. Okay. Here you are identifying notes again. There you're going to write some notes down. Then it says here, write the following notes as minims. And it must be a B on a line or an F in a space. You must follow those things very, very closely. And then here it says, write the following notes as semiquavers. So you must write them as semiquavers with the 2 flags, all of those for the bass clef. Then you need to put the right clef in front of each of these notes. Okay, so if this is a treble clef, then you need to draw a treble clef here. For each of these is a separate one. Okay, so this one will need a clef, this one will need a clef, that one will need a clef, that one will need a clef. Okay? Each of them has individual examples. All right. Are there any questions about that?
Which is, because this is the same.
Sorry, I can't hear. I was saying, can you just put it onto the chat so that I can hear, that you can write it on the chat so that I can get your question and I'll try to answer it. If anybody else heard the question and can repeat it for me, I will try to answer it. Otherwise, we'll just wait for the question in the chat. If anybody else has a question, please feel free to ask. Sibuyele, which one are you referring to? A particular question? Or to this last one that I would...
Yes.
To the last one? So what you'd need to do is when you see a note like this, I'll do this first example with you. It says that this note is a C, okay? So then you would look at your rhymes.
Oh, now I get it. Oh. Oh, yeah.
It works for the treble clef, so then you put the treble clef there, okay? And you do it like for each of those, you'd need to do it separately for each of them. That make sense?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? All right. If you're still struggling to understand if you've somebody is at my door, sorry, it's just one of the children. If you are struggling to understand the rhythms, please don't worry. When we meet next week in live classes, then I will show you what all of these things mean, okay, and how they work. So don't worry too much if you don't understand everything yet. We'll get to helping you to understand it. But first, practice all of these things during the week. If necessary, what I'll try and do is to organize a catch-up class on Tuesday next week so that we can go over this live to make sure that everything is working. That's if we're allowed back on campus by then. Okay, so if there are any questions, please feel free to ask them now before we finish this class. There's somebody knocking at my door. I'll be back now. If you've got a question, put up your hand.
Hello.
Okay. Any questions? Doesn't look like it. Okay, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to receiving your worksheets on Monday. If I can manage to organize a live class on Tuesday so that we can catch up for those of you who are struggling with the rhythm, we will try and do that this Tuesday. Okay. You're asking Zibuyile if you can have the names for the bass clef. Do you mean the rhymes for the bass clef?
Yes, sir.
Okay, for the
No. For this work you just gave us now,
yeah.
like the bread, eggs, did, cafe, feed.
Okay, so the lines are good boys deserve food always. And the spaces are all cows eat grass. So if we were looking at this one over here, all cows, it's just E, then this would be a bass clef. Okay, but you need to do it for each of these individually. Okay.
So the work you gave us.
The work that, haven't you received?
The one we're supposed to submit on WhatsApp right now.
Yes, please. I'll give you feedback about it. You can send it to me as a picture on WhatsApp and I'll give you feedback about it later this afternoon.
I'm not done yet. I wanted the names for the past clef.
Oh, I see. I'll take a photograph of it and send it to you on WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp group, okay?
Okay, thanks.
I understand now, sorry. Okay, I'll take a picture of that for you now and then send it. Okay, I think that's everything for today. Thanks for your time. I'll chat to you during the week.